You may remember in the last video I was going to scratch build a part to replace that. Now, as you can see, it suffered a bit of damage because I've realised I had a way at my fingertips to sort this out a lot easier and a lot more accurately, and I'll show you exactly what I'm thinking after this. Okay, as you can see, we get two canopy options in the kit. This one for the A5/A6, this one for the A4 with the, I'm not sure whether that's armor plate or not, but the cover that goes under the canopy itself, which is great. However, if you look at the numbers, you only get one set for both of these parts. Except I've just noticed, if I'm going to use the other one as an AF2, then I can also rob part 128 out. But that said, it's still very nicely, you can't see it, it's still very nicely attached to the headrest. And also, you only get one of these, which is a nice decal with some writing on it there. So I'm going to have to reuse. Let me just put you back out of it. I've disassembled it. I'm going to reuse these parts in this one, a lovely shiny brand new spare canopy. As I say, because that part was missing, this part, which is very hard to tell, but it is 129 or 130 that goes over there, and then that hooks on the inside of a small rail on the canopy, which a lot of this moving canopy on this particular aircraft leads into its own problems, because let me just show you on my model. So as you can see, parts 129 and 130 will be there. Now, as the canopy, as it all slides backwards, but as you can see, it's getting smaller. It's kind of almost a V shape. Now on the real aircraft, and they have actually modelled it on the glass, that there, what looks like a seam, was actually a kind of a hinge part, and what would happen as the canopy slid backwards, that would allow it to squeeze in, which obviously your plastic part, I mean, and you've got the same on this, obviously your plastic part can't do that. So a genuine moving canopy on this kit is tricky, to say the least. I think mine did move, but I can't remember whether it was simply it was bending the arms in, but then if the plastic clear part of the canopy's on there, it's actually going to prevent that. So I'm just going to forge ahead, get this redone, get these parts installed on this, and that will give me a brand new, well, supposed brand new canopy, and we'll take it from there. I may probably won't have this, I'm not going to glue it shut, but it probably won't really open, if I'm going to be honest, but we'll just have to see. So I'll get this cleaned up, get these parts installed, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to replace parts 130 and 129. It's if it works, it's going to be quite a clever little trick I'm going to do. So I'll be right back with you. Right, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the complete spare rear canopy rather than try to repair the other one, because it's silly not to. And so I got this out of the original. Lost a couple of pieces of plastic there where they were stuck in. I've put a little piece of plastic back, so now this will pop right back. You see, basically. I'm going to put a bit of gloss varnish over that, because on the decal sheet you only get one of those, and if I build the other one I'm going to need it, so I need to preserve this. So I'll put some gloss varnish over it to protect it while I'm messing about with stuff. Get this reinstalled, get that part put back, repaint it, and it's ready to just pop back on. And there we have it, this canopy hood all back together. A little bit of a repaint, just waiting for its glazing to go on. Then it pops on. It just needs two little parts that hang down there and go inside the fuselage, just to sort of hold this front end in, which I think I've got one. I think I've scratch built another. Once they're on, this is ready to be fixed. I'll clean this glass up a little bit. It's incredibly dusty, and it can basically pop back on, no problem. Just for FYI, here's the alternative canopy with its glazing. Never painted because it's never been used, but you can see that's quite a different shape. So I'll leave that here for a minute, find those two little bits, get those on, and get the canopy back. And there we have it. The pointy thing. The kit part is now on this side, and this is my scratch built part, which not super perfect, but it will do a job, and it will be barely seen once it's on the aircraft, on the model. So the next thing to do is, obviously I've got that there. I think I'm going to, on my original canopy, I'm going to dip these. I've got, because obviously there's two sets for two different aircraft. This is a spare from the unbuilt one, and as you can see, it's quite nice. A lot nicer, to be fair, than looking than the other one is. But I'm going to dip that because I'm kind of a little bit treating this like a sort of classic car build or rebuild, and as much as I can, I want to keep the original parts. Plus, it wouldn't hurt to have a spare in case that does go. I do get problems, because this, obviously, it goes without saying, anything for this kit is rocking horse poo. So I'll get that dipped. I'm going to get that dipped. Get these dipped in some lovely clear that I've got in this pot, which totally let's move you out a bit. If you're a junk food fan like I am, these little things that formerly, well, obviously it's still got the label on that says gravy, but it's obviously Canopy dip now. I've got another one here. That, it's, you see it's super cloudy, but that, oh, it's quite disgusting actually. That is just water, plain water, in case I want to get a bit out to wash or thin a little bit of paint down and I don't want to use thinners. But you know, never throw anything away. There's usually a second life it can have. So I'll, in fact, I'll tell you what, let's do it now. Let's put that out there. So, dipping canopies. Pretty easy. It's exactly what it says in the tin. Let's move you out the way a little bit. What I'm going to do is pop the lid off there. Oh, and in case you was wondering, what's actually in there that I call Canopy dip is this. A genuine, super out of production bottle of clear with a K. I must admit, when they discontinued this stuff, I did panic buy a bunch. That's got to be 10 years ago now, probably more. And that, out of the possible 6 or 8 I panic bought, I think I gave a couple away, and that is the second one I've ever actually opened. So I've still got at least 4 somewhere spare. So I very much doubt I'll ever run out of this stuff. So, dipping canopies. What do? You just simply, literally dip them. I'll grab it there. Right in there. Get it all the way in. Take it out. Let it drain. And just put it on there. That will absorb any excess. And it will allow it to dry nice and even. I'll do the same to this one. The windshield. There. Drain the excess. Put it on there, leave it be cool. So while they dry, I shall find something else to do. And that's something I did while the canopy dried. So this is in place as it should be. Much. I think when I put it together, some things are slightly out of line. I don't know if you see that. I've had to put it in open and then slide it too. And once it got to about that far, it really wanted to move. You see that panel there. I've shaved a bit off that to get it to go. I think it's this armor plate is catching. I've shaved a bit off the bottom of the armor plate. I've shaved a bit off that. It still is very tricky to move easily. So when this is done, the canopy is going to be short. I'm not going to glue it. I don't need to. I cannot. That will not actually move now. It is not glued in any way, shape, or form. It is kind of jammed. So that will be that. It will have a closed canopy, which is a bit in a way, but it is what it is. I've not. Hands at the minute. That's not actually glued on. Let's just see how it looks, but it fits nicely. So there we have it. The canopy is now repaired. It's not as good as it was because it did used to open and close fairly easily, but hey ho. But if we pull back, it is definitely beginning to look a little bit like a Focke Wulf 190. So I'll call this for this video. and I don't know what should I do next. I'll need to sort out the undercarriage. I think that'll be the next job on this. Get that back together and fixed. And then there's a few minor repairs, and then I think we're looking at painting, touch wood. If you've enjoyed the videos you've just watched, here's another video you might want to watch, a playlist you might want to watch also. And please don't forget to, if you have enjoyed it, leave me a like and maybe a subscribe. I would much appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.